Alright, guys, we're going to be doing another reading here. Part of me doesn't really know, again, what kind of reading to be doing. So part of me is like, maybe I should just let it kind of come as it goes and just go from there and see what comes out with the messages. So I was thinking that I don't know what I was thinking. Again, I might just go with the tarot first. So I don't know if this is my neighbor, but I can hear music. It feels like it's getting louder. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can hear it. Can't quite make out what song it is, though. So what is kind of a general overall collective energy that we're going through? Just like as a collective whole. I can really hear that music. So you guys, we have this in the blocked position with the Death card in the reverse. So this is telling me, and this is kind of letting me know that there can be issues when it's related to home, what's related to your finances, or even you're feeling blocked in opportunities. You're feeling like you're not getting what it is that you need. There is a lack. It almost feels like there's like a halt on something. Something is not quite coming through like you would like it to. Oops, I'm sorry. So I feel like there is an image that you have that you've been putting out into the world, but you're feeling there's like there's a disconnection between an emotional it's emotional versus mental, and not feeling or knowing what to do, feeling very trapped, because there's a part of you that doesn't feel like you have that yet, but that's something that you're seeking. I feel like a lot of the readings that I've been doing and putting out lately seem to be kind of like running into like a timeline or into a theme. Not everybody's obviously going to relate to each individual reading, but for some people that might be like the case, where it's like you're looking for some kind of happy home life, or you're looking for some kind of happy ending to something that you feel is there's like a halter or a block on it right now, so you don't think you're actually going to get this, but I'm getting that you are. Or there is a lot of potential. I'm just getting there's actually a lot of potential for you to get this, but it's the way that you're looking at the opportunities that come. You know, sometimes when we ask for things, it doesn't always come in the way that we want, you know? It's like, that's why, like, you know, when you hear people, they'll be like, oh, well, I want a partner that's like 6 foot and like they have to have this kind of complexion, or, you know, people like they have an image in their head of how they see it, that it has to be like, oh, it has to be this way, or I don't want it. And it's like that limitation is what is holding you back, because yes, you could be at what you're asking for is not necessarily, might not come in the way that you think it would look. You know, maybe the person that is better for you might not be the one that you perceive. And I wouldn't say you wouldn't be attracted to that person, but it's not your usual type, or it's not, or like you didn't expect to go down that career path, or, you know, there's like something that for a lot of you guys, it's like you perceive something to make you happy, but what you don't realize is that it might be something else. Something a little bit more tangible, something that's actually going to be a lot more long lasting. And it's going to be long lasting, but it's the way you're perceiving it. And it might actually go differently than you expect. See, like right now, currently, there could be some issues with relationships, and there could be issues with connections in general at this time. So what I'm getting here, you guys, is that there's something that didn't work out. And this could even be somebody that you really cared for, even in a business sense, right? Like, let's say that somebody had to quit or somebody left, but this person could have, it's like, there's something here that could have happened that was really difficult to let go of, because you felt like you lost something in this connection, right? Like all your time, your energy, your effort. But what you don't see is the gift or the potential that you just developed in growing. There's something now that has been illuminated in your life. There's a situation. For some of you guys, there's something that is now illuminated with a partnership. For some of you, maybe you had to walk away you can tell, like, obviously this guy has documents. Maybe some of you had to, like, I'm spitballing here, but like maybe you had to go through like a divorce or like a separation, or had to go through um a breakup or something, right? In order to, like, you had to take an L in order to have a win. Like, sometimes you're just in the wrong spot, but because you are in the winning, you're figuring out yourself, you're able to find an actual connection, something that's more emotionally fulfilling. And it's like, it's almost not so much a mystery anymore. Maybe relationships was more of a mystery to you. There's some kind of gaining clarity and getting out of your own head. Something where you're no longer dwelling on something. It's like something's a little bit easier to move past. And I feel like this is something that is going to be coming about, and I feel like you're going to be experiencing it. I don't really. It's like it's like there might be a message that you might get, and you might get the message through a song. You might get the message through somebody, like maybe you're walking past somebody and all of a sudden you happen to hear this person's conversation, and they might just say like one or two key phrases that just clicks in your brain. Some of you might just be listening to like a podcast or listening to something, and then something connects, or it's like you read something, or there's something that you guys are going to be coming across, whether this is like a quote, a post, a billboard. I mean, like, think about it. It can be anything, right? Like, you're going to be gaining some kind of insight, and it's going to kind of help you see things a lot clearly, and it's going to help you. It's like there's a conversation, or it's like learning to let something go. You guys could, for instance, like, this is something I'm kind of getting. It's kind of like this could have been something that somebody been holding back for a while. Whether these are thoughts, feelings, ones are typically passion, fiery, quick. But when it's in the reverse, it's like there's been something could have died out. Something was kind of withheld. It's a difficult conversation to have because it's going to be affecting someone's pride or self-esteem, because this could be something that has to do with someone's childhood, something that had to do with the way that this person thought or felt, something about lack of expression. It's like this individual can feel as though they don't have it's like they don't either have a whole lot to give, or they don't have a whole lot of substance. They don't know. It's like they don't know how to proceed forward. Hmm. And it might even just be too that, like, it feels like more of like a excuse, like a narrow-minded way of thinking. Like, oh, well, I just don't know. I don't see. It's like not seeing the resources in front of you or in front of them. But there is passion involved, or there is a care involved, but it's like the problem is you have to figure out your own passion. It's like either them or you finding somebody that sparks this passion, this creativity, but not knowing how to do it within yourself. So you're trying to rely on someone else to give you that when in actuality it's something that you should be able to do. See, it's like there's something that needs to be let go of that has yet to be let go of. See? It's like holding on to something to do with conflict, something to do with feeling like something was unfair, a decision that was made that was unfair, that someone didn't take your thoughts and feelings into account, could have abandoned you, could have celebrated with others. You felt kind of rejected or alone, and this could have left you confused and hurt, feeling like depleted. So it's like having to learn to let go of something. Yeah, feeling hurt, feeling betrayed, feeling like you're not being, that the care isn't being reciprocated. There's something about feeling depleted. Letting go of hurt and pain. So it's all in a mindset change. For some of you guys, you're going to find someone or somebody that's going to kind of help you get out of this frame of mindset. Somebody that is going to be good for you. But there's this need and urge to work through something. Like you... See, there's something that's not being healed or not being talked about that needs to be talked and healed. And it feels like there's somebody that comes in and they have a conversation with you, but then you don't ever get to the root problem of the conflict. And then they just talk about other things, and then they make you feel kind of like there's nothing being healed, there's nothing being resolved, but it's like you're dealing with somebody that's like in a rotative relationship. You know, like one of those rotating doors. There's like no end to it. It like never closes. Oops, I'm so sorry, puppy. This is like such a draining energy. But I am saying that you guys are getting your resources back up and going again. There seems to be a switch or a new change in the relationship, and you're learning to find yourself again. And you're doing so by feeling like you don't always have to defend yourself. Like sometimes it's okay if people have a certain type of way of viewing you. So maybe not learning to care so much about what other people think. If you know that if you try to... So guys, if this is making a lot more sense. I was just kind of going through the motion of just like, what am I even reading here right now? If you've tried to deal with this person and have a similar conversation over and over and over again, and this person is not giving you the resolution and is not getting, they're like beating around the bush, they're not getting directly to the problem, and they're just never resolving the situation, so it's never ending. That is tiring to the point where eventually you don't want to talk about it anymore. You become apathetic to it. And it's like you're trying to heal, you're trying to resolve, but the conflict is still there. And then, of course, after that, you might just be focusing on work or focusing on your savings or focusing on building something again for yourself, because you're realizing that whatever this is it's like a waste of your time. So you might as well start putting into yourself. But there's like, again, this unresolved situation. The world popped out in the reverse and then went back in. So So the Fool fell on the floor. Time for a new beginning. And sometimes it's painful starting over again. It's not an easy thing to do most of the time. And so that's what this is requiring of you, is to heal while moving forward, to process your feelings while still going on, and trusting yourself, because I feel like this could have drained you, made you lose passion in yourself or in your life. And there could have been some unjust things that happened in the connection that could have just drained you on an emotional level, you guys. So right now it's asking for you to do some self-care. It's asking for you to take some time out, because when you can start taking time out and nurturing yourself, you're going to come back into that emperor state again. Because I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's like you got lost in the sauce. got lost in this open revolving relationship that's not going anywhere and you're needing to get off of it. Oh man, that's crazy. Okay. Oh, sheesh. So these cards both fell up in the upright, but we have the wand. And so you know that you're going to be healing, you're going to be going through a lot in this relationship. There is a finding yourself again, right? It's all about healing and re-finding yourself after such a long drawn out connection or such a relationship that it was like you were coming and going, they were coming and going. Other people could have been involved. There could have been a lot of gossip, a lot of talk. When you try to resolve the situation, there was no resolution in sight. And it's very exhausting and it's very tiring. And it's like me sitting here trying to do this reading. It was as if I had to literally try to figure it all out. Like I felt numb, apathy. I felt kind of like something where you've gone through it long enough that you're just kind of sick and tired of it and you just don't want to persist anymore. You don't want to move on anymore. You're just like, yeah, I'm over it. I'm done and over it. Because, yeah, there's been a lot of lies and it's time to move past that, right? It's getting yourself out of that feeling because I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is something that tested you and tested who you are at your core. So learning to move on from somebody, it's like you don't need to put up with this type of energy. And now that you're pulling back your energy, taking that time to going out and doing something new, it's like don't be afraid to go out and explore. Like if you live in a city, don't be afraid to go out and try out different restaurants or try out different areas or just exploring different shops that are local around you or just going and doing different workshops or just doing something that's out of the ordinary, like going to a park or just enjoying your day. You're going to notice that there's new opportunities that will come to you, but in order for you to gain those opportunities, you're needing to learn to heal and you're needing to learn to find what makes you happy again, what brings you that joy again, what is initially bringing in that spark for you. When you can start developing and cultivating things like that into your everyday routine, you're going to start noticing things. You're going to notice better people coming into your life. You're going to notice that this relationship starts to kind of fall away because then at this point you're no longer feeding into it. So I'm just getting that a lot of you guys change your mindset when it comes to opportunities. Change your mindset. Like just because it seems or it appears that something is done or it appears or seems that something is not feasible doesn't mean that you can't go for it. Doesn't mean that it's actually like necessarily closed. Did you knock on the door? Did you even do a temperature pulse? But it's something about and I've been getting this through multiple readings that I've been doing, so I feel like at this point it's almost like a similar message. And it's basically like once you let go of this thought process or a person or a place or a situation, once you can let go of that, and this is also just like, again, a mindset too of how are you viewing the situation? Are you viewing a situation where it's kind of like, I don't know, like from more of a pessimistic lens where you're seeing things more? Are you focusing more on the negative or are you focusing more on the positive? Are you doing little things that you know is going to move you forward or is going to slow you down? It's like figuring out your daily habits, figuring out the guidelines to get you to where you want to be. And being away from people that are difficult to work with, people that don't have your best interest at heart, people that don't share a similar vision or don't care to or are not willing to aid you in those decisions, then it's best to let those types of people go, right? Because they are just, and it's not to be selfish. Like, I think that when people hear these things, they go like, "Oh my gosh, like that's not very spiritual of you." But it's like, realistically though, not everybody's meant to be in our life, and not everybody is actually good for you, and vice versa. Like, I'm sure that if I was in some people's lives, I would be considered toxic, and then other people I could be a saint. It's just because I feel like everybody has different wants, needs, belief systems, different ways of growing up. And so, sometimes people that do us dirty are not always necessarily bad people. Maybe they just do that to us because we just bring that out of them, but that doesn't mean that they themselves are bad people. So it's like sometimes we have to get out of that mindset of black and white thinking. Sometimes we have to get out of the mindset of thinking that it's us versus someone else, when in actuality, we're just seeking to understand the situation, and we're just seeking to gain the knowledge so that we can move forward. And when people do us wrong, when things don't go the way that we want it to, it's not like I'm going to fault you for being upset or angry about it. Like, everybody has the right to feel that way, especially when there is an injustice or when it was uncalled for behavior. But when you're going through a situation and all you do is like blame other people, or all you do is just look at the negative of everything, it makes it hard to resolve situations. It makes it hard to see eye to eye, because there's no, at that point, there's almost no open and honest communication. There's no room for each other to talk. There's no way to see different perspectives when you come at it from that angle. So I just feel like for a lot of you guys, this is just kind of like a more of a running theme. There is something that needs to be left out of your life that is no longer serving you, and it keeps on draining your resources, or draining something, like it's haltering your money or your job or something that you want to work towards, and it's because of just the energy itself. It's just needing to change things up. So I'm going to pull one card, and then I'm going to end this reading because I've been here for a minute. It's not an emergency, so you don't need to rush. And then we also have turn back. So it's okay to backtrack, and it's okay to not rush the process. Because I feel like a lot of you guys are rushing things that doesn't need to be rushed. It's like, let's say if there's a problem, okay? Sometimes the problem gets resolved and you don't have to do anything. Sometimes things are more at play than you realize, and so trying to do something before it's time could be rushing the process. Maybe you have to sit in whatever this is so that you can gain a better perspective, just so that you are more well equipped. You don't have to rush through life. Life has its own pace, it has its own cadence, and all you have to do is find your own rhythm with it. And sometimes there is times when you have to floor it, and you have to go, and you have to like risk it, and you have to be quick. And then there's other times when you have to be slower and you have to be more careful with your decisions, more conscientious of what you say, do, act. You don't need to, like, it's just like there's no rush, there's no race in life. So that is what I have for you guys. Hopefully this helps you. And if this doesn't resonate for you, then thanks for watching anyways. But thanks, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.